Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be testing some of the new releases from e.l.f. The Finest Fleck glitter eyeshadows I'm a little late on, and maybe this lip product, but the other two drops are from the Camo line. So they dropped the new liquid bronzer and contour, and then they also launched 3 new shades in their Camo liquid blush. So I wanted to give these a go. I've been wanting to try the Finest Fleck glitter eyeshadows. So let me show you guys what we have on today's agenda, then we'll hop into the try on. So I picked up 2 shades of the Finest Fleck glitter eyeshadows, and the one that looked like the most appealing, which was like a grayish taupe shade, of course it sold out on the e.l.f. website. I think when I got these I didn't see them on the Ulta website yet. I'm sure they're coming at some point. So the 2 shades that I picked up were Straight Fire, which this one has nice flip to it, and then Champagne Showers. Not really the 2 that I wanted, but the next 2 that I wanted. And then I showed you guys the bronzer and contour, and then one of the 3 new shades of the blush, and then the last thing was the O-Face Shimmer Balm. So I don't know why this escaped my radar because it's a glittery lip, and I love glittery lips. So anyway, that's what's on today's agenda, you guys. I will put timestamps in the description box in case you guys want to skip ahead to any particular product. Otherwise, let's get into it. Okay, so I didn't do my base at all. I thought I would start with the eyeshadow first because I like to do eyeshadow first because I make a mess, but also I only wanted to keep 1 shade on because I think I might film another video after this, so I didn't want to have 2 of them on. So I thought that we would try both to see which one we liked the best. So let's talk about these first. These are $6 a piece. They've come in 6 different shades. I told you guys I have Champagne Shower, which is described as a peachy beige with champagne sparkle. And then the other one that I picked up was, again, Straight Fire, red and green and white sparkle, which is the one I think I'm the most interested in. And e.l.f. out here making these for $6 a piece, okay? I mean, I really wanted to test them to see if they were like a dupe to the Urban Decay Moon Dust, which I feel like a lot of us are probably thinking that, or just a beautiful sparkly shadow for all of $6. Here's the packaging on these. It's cute. It doesn't like lock down or anything. Very similar to the Urban Decay Moon Dust, which I think is what they were going for. This one is Straight Fire. Now, if you look at it straight on, it looks kind of gray, silver, and then when you turn it, it's fully purple. Let me show you like this. Here is all the colored sparkles. It looks very gray. Then when you flip it, it's got a really nice flip to it. It's like very purpley red. I think it kind of goes like purple to red. So it's not just like the sparkles inside, it really is kind of a flippy shadow, which they don't describe these as multi-chromes or anything like that. Actually, what this says on it is sheer glitter eyeshadow topper. So these are supposed to just be toppers, although you can have like multi-chrome toppers. It just didn't strike me as sheer based on the swatches. And if you look online, like even the pictures don't seem sheer. And here is Champagne Showers. This one, not as flippy, but I do like the colored sparkles. They are like almost blue. Like you can kind of see it there. Like it shifts just a little bit blue. I thought these would be more creamy because they're definitely dry, powdery formula. That's what's picking up on my finger. Just dropped it. Let's swatch it out. Okay, look at the peachy base. That's really pretty. Prettier than I thought it was gonna be. Let's swatch this one. Okay, this one's a lot creamier. A lot creamier. Okay, these are toppers. They do not have a very strong base on either of these. Here's the other one. Yeah, that one's almost purple. Not exactly what I was going for. That brownie taupe shade was definitely the one that I and everyone else was gunning for. So let's start with the Champagne, I keep forgetting the name, Champagne Showers. Okay, now it's starting to feel a little bit creamier. Just not a lot picks up. Let's just throw this on and see if it gives us like any kind of real base. It's pretty light. It's a topper. Okay, That's so sheer, it's almost invisible. Like it could have had just a hint more of a base, and that would be freaking gorgeous. Like I thought this was gonna be so creamy. It was gonna be like Ladybird from ColourPop with the Super Shock formula, but this is not. Like the base on this is so light. Oh my gosh, so light. They call it sheer. It's sheer. Let's do it over a bronzer. I'm gonna throw just a bronzer all over. This is the Balm, my blush bronzer, and see if it helps at all. Since it's a topper, I don't have high hopes. All right, just a light base. Let's see if it does anything extra for me. You guys, this is so freaking dry. Like, it needs oils in it. It feels like it's already hard panning. Do you see what looks like hard pan? It kind of feels like it's just an overspray. Like, the more I break through, the less sparkles I see. This could have been a hit, and I think it's shit. You guys, this is so light. I'm not even sure it's worth it, and I'm pretty sure this is hard panned on me. I was starting to pick it with my finger to loosen it up because it's just not picking anything up anymore. Not that it was a ton to begin with, but this is not intense at all. Even over something, it's too sheer for me. So if you like something super duper sheer, great. I don't even know if this would show up, like this shade anyway. I'm gonna move on from that and hope that the other one is a little bit more intense, but here's the swatch. You know, probably not. And 2 of the 6 shades that launched are like this, or lighter. This isn't even the lightest one. They have another one that is called White Hot, which is a white sparkle. And maybe the sparkle on it is more shiny. It's just that if these light ones just don't have an intense base, 2 out of the 6 shades are light like this. So I just took that shade off. I do want to read the description on this because I know it is a sheer glitter eyeshadow topper, but I want to see what it says. What it is: a sheer white sparkly eyeshadow topper packed with microfine glitter flecks that can be worn alone or layered over eyeshadow for long-lasting sparkle. Why you'll love it. Long-lasting sheer glitter eyeshadow topper with a shimmer finish. Packed with, okay, it's saying the same thing over again. Glitter flecks for an eye-catching party-ready vibe. Can be worn alone or layered on top of your go-to e.l.f. eyeshadows. Turn every eye look into an e.l.f.ing party. The sheer dazzling eyeshadow topper is packed with. It literally just keeps repeating itself over and over. Yeah, okay, wow. Just wow. That one, again, it felt dry like immediately upon touching it. I'm setting my eyes again with some powder, just a pressed powder, because I'm guessing that we're gonna end up keeping this one on. Let's get it on. There's no time like the present. Like, it really does have like kind of a nice flip to it. It's almost that taupey shade, but then when you start swatching it, like, you lose a lot of the base. It just comes out like, you know, a sheer topper. Did we need sheer toppers? I didn't even realize this was like a sheer topper. I thought it was just like a single glitter shadow, which I feel like if you formulated right, could have gone like super viral. I have not seen these go viral yet. Like, I haven't even really seen anyone talk about them like kind of at all. Okay, that's so much better. Like, you actually get a decent base with this one. Kind of a peachy base with purple sparkles on it. Way more impactful. So that other one, I think, is 1, dry, 2, there's no base. It's so peach and so light. It's like my skin tone, which is why it's kind of not showing up as well. But I'm still saying that these are dry as hell. Like, I'm putting my finger into this so hard to pick up something, and look how much I'm like literally hard panning it. Like, it's getting bumpy and dry. Okay, I'm not a fan so far. I'm a critic. I really wonder how that other shade is, the one with like the taupey base, how it compares to these. I'd love to find out. Maybe when they come to Ulta, or if they have already, I'll pick up another shade. I mean, they're $6. They are micro fine, and I will say they're more powdery than creamy of other shadows of their kind. Like the Urban Decay Moon Dust, much more creamy. The Super Shocks from ColourPop, which I think you can wear alone, and are very gorgeous, obviously cream. These, kind of a sheer powder. So kind of my question is like, why e.l.f.? Why? Let's see if like picking it up on a brush does any better to pick up some more of this base. Yeah, a little bit. The base gets a little bit deeper. But look what I've done to it already. I just feel like I've torn it up and it's like discolored. I don't know, you guys. I was expecting more from e.l.f. You know how they can make dupes and they can go wild with making dupes because they do it so well. But what are they duping here? The Urban Decay? You guys, even the light shades have a base to them, like a better base than this, even though they're probably described as sheer eyeshadow toppers. I don't know, first impressions is not good. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I could easily see myself saying that I really just dislike these going forward. This one, obviously deeper, prettier, formula though, I kind of feel like they're dry as hell, and I think I'm hard panning it. That to me, like if they were super creamy and they were just like sheer like this, but I didn't feel like I was immediately hard panning it, I probably would feel a little bit differently, but I don't. So I don't know, I could see those not being a favorite of mine moving forward. I am gonna throw on my e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation. This is older. It's been in my project pan. I could have used the Soft Glam, which I'm a fan of, but I thought I would use this one today because, you know, I had my light on it. Even though I've used more than that, it's still in my project pan. This is one of my favorite foundations, and so far, I don't think that they've gotten rid of this. I still think they have this. I don't think the Soft Glam has discontinued this product, which was what I was kind of worried about. But I like the Soft Glam. I like this one better though. The thing is, this one is super duper fragranced, where the Soft Glam is not. I shouldn't say super duper, it has a fragrance to it for sure. This one is in a little bit of a deep shade for me. It's in Bisque. I don't think it's oxidized at all. It's always been a little bit too deep. I am not a fan of the Camo complexion products. I liked the sheer concealer that e.l.f. had. Like in terms of formula, it probably wasn't my preference, but it didn't do anything adverse. But all of the Camo concealers have been awful. Thick, heavy, no. And even their foundations, the Camo line, terrible for me. Just not a formula that I care for. They've always been too thick and too heavy. Even the hydrating Camo CC cream. I don't even know how they can get away with calling it like a CC cream. It's more like a full coverage spackle. But even though this one is heavier, which I usually don't like heavier foundations, it works for me. There's something really beautiful about it. I really do think it's a flawless satin foundation. Like the name is perfect. It's satin, my skin looks pretty and smooth, and it's not too matte. It's like right in the middle. I do like this better than the Soft Glam, even though I like the Soft Glam. I am gonna throw on some mascara. I'm using my Ami Collet mascara, which is one of my faves. Okay, I'm gonna wait to powder until after I put the bronzer and blush on because I feel like they're gonna be intense. So let's go into the bronzer and contour. I'm always critical when they say bronzer and contour, anytime it's like a dual product, but I think what they've done here is they've made shade ranges for fair, light, medium, tan, deep, rich, and they've captured different undertones, so cool, neutral, and warm. So depending upon the shade that you can get something more cool toned or something more warm toned. And so that's why it's just a formula that can be used for both, but not necessarily the shades used for both. The shade that I picked up is One Fair, and it's the lightest of the shades. And I do believe that this one is a cool undertone because the Too Fair Light looks more warm, and this definitely has like a coolness about it. So I think my color is more contour color, which is what I'm reaching for. So this is a high pigment liquid bronzer and contour hybrid for creating a long-lasting sun-kissed and sculpt look with a natural finish. They basically say the same thing. While you love it, it's great for dry, oily, and combo skin. Create a sun-kissed sculpt beat with the newest addition to the Camo fan. It's a lightweight, pigment-packed liquid bronzer and contour hybrid. That's pretty much it. I told you guys it comes in 10 different shades, which is great. And it retails for $7. So high pigment, probably gonna end up dabbing this on my hand and then applying it to my cheeks instead of just going straight in. And if it's anything like the Camo liquid blush, that's gonna be the way to do this. Oh yeah, this is a great contour shade for fair skin. It does look really pigmented and it looks really opaque too. There you go, like pretty solid color. It's not super dry though. Like it doesn't immediately dry down. I love my e.l.f. brushes. And if you guys know, my Total Face sponges from e.l.f. are like some of my favorite. I have them freaking everywhere. And then I also have their like Camo, I think this is like a concealer sponge. I love their tools. Their tools are some of the best affordable tools out there. The only thing is like getting a thick swatch on this so you can like pick it up on a sponge isn't like the easiest thing. It's a nice doe foot size, it just doesn't pick up a ton of product. All right, I'm using an expensive brush, okay? I'm going for Refer. Can't find my e.l.f. ones. And I love these Refer brushes. I think this was from the Liquids collection. It's like one of my favorite styles to stamp on blushes and bronzers or contours, you know? It has a little bit of sheen to it. Oh, so good. I think it's really nice though. It's not like splotchy or anything, but it's really pigmented, so it's a little bit deep, I think, even for me. But it has a little bit of radiance. It's not completely flat, matte, or dry. You can see that even on the swatch where I've picked it up with the brush. I may end up liking these more than the blush, which I don't know if I was like an immediate fan of the liquid blush. All right, we're picking up more. Yeah, this is such a tacky formula, like Radiant City kind of. This is like dewy. It's kind of hard to get off on the swatch. It definitely has like a tackiness to it. It's a little bit dark right now, but I told you guys we're gonna powder over it once we get this blush on. So let's move on to the blush. So far, I really do like this. Again, it's a little bit deep. Again, it's radiant, which is emphasizing the texture on my cheeks a little bit. I don't personally mind it. We'll powder over it anyway. So far, I do like this formula. It's just like the blush, just in a contour, which I don't know if I'm like a huge fan of radiant contours. You know, bronzers I understand, but radiant contours, I'm not sure that's needed. All right, so 3 new shades. Originally they came out with 9. Now they have 12 total. This also retails for $7. It's a long-lasting liquid blush that delivers a dewy, high pigment pop of color to the cheeks. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. The 3 new shades that they launched were Copper Etiquette, a rosy copper, Cheeky Lychee, a neutral pink, and then this one, which I've been loving lately, Bold Faced Lilac, which is a lavender lilac. And what I mean by that is these colors, these lilac colors, I don't know why I didn't love them sooner, but I just think they look so good. I think I'm getting really into cooler toned blushes, which is not normally what I reach for. I love warm toned blushes. I don't know why. I go through phases with my blush. I like it warm toned or I like cool toned. So anyway, I just thought I'd get something a little bit different. And the Dusty Rose shade that I picked up and the very, very hot pink shade that I picked up the first time when these launched, I really just disliked both of them. Well, okay, I didn't mind the Dusty Rose, but I definitely didn't fall in love with it. It was like way more warm toned than Rose. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? So I hope I don't dislike this one as well. I think I am gonna use the foundation brush that we used and maybe like diffuse some of this color with what's left over on the brush. Let's get a decent amount on there and dab it in. To be honest, the first time I applied these Camo liquid blush, I think it was too much. I don't think I dabbed enough off and it was too intense. So pretty. It's pretty. Isn't this lilac shade delicious? You know what these phases do? You know what they do? They make me need to go out and look for purple blush. So then all of a sudden, I find myself on the hunt for a purple or lilac blush. It's great, it's good. These phases are lovely. Okay, I went heavy, I went ham. These are definitely really pigmented blushes. So you don't need a lot, but this side got a lot darker when I applied it, so I had to go in a little bit darker on the other side. I think though, if you like something a little more subtle when it comes to blush, you're probably not gonna like these, or pick a shade like this that is much lighter. I like the little bit of radiance that it has. I like that these aren't like completely flat. They do emphasize all the texture on my cheeks because they're dewy. I don't mind it really. I may end up decluttering the last shade that I held onto in this line because I got rid of the super hot pink one, but I kept the Dusty Rose shade. I think I may just hold on to this one because this is just like my preference right now. I put so much on. So let's give it a powder. The only thing in the Camo line that I like as far as complexion products is the powder foundation, and this one I have in 150C. I use this to set my face all the time as like a setting powder over top of a liquid foundation because I have combo skin and because it's so freaking humid here in Florida. I'm gonna powder over some of this blush because it's pretty intense. I'm also gonna powder over the contour like slightly. The contour is dewy and I don't like dewy on the forehead. So for me, this is not a favorite formula. Like, I loved the shade, but I can already tell you a dewy forehead is not my thing. I make up dewy all on my own, so I don't like a dewy bronzer, especially a dewy contour on the forehead. I don't mind it on the cheeks, but it's just not necessary. I feel like with a contour, I want personally something that's matte. So I don't know if this is like my preferred formula, although I do really like the shade. However, I highly recommend this powder and I highly recommend this foundation. It is, like I said, it is scented. I can still smell it. So that might turn people off. And last but not least, you guys, I don't know if these are limited edition or not, but it's the e.l.f. Shimmer Balm. Oh shucks, they're out of stock now for both of them. They only came in 2 shades. They have Perfection, which is the shade that I ended up getting, and then a dark brown shade in Chocolitty. I wonder if they're gonna bring these back. It does say new and it doesn't call them limited edition on their website. So anyway, it's the e.l.f. Shimmer Balm. It's a luxe lip balm with a sheer veil of shimmer, retailing for $10. Believe it or not, this is like the most expensive thing in today's video. It's a luxe glitter lip balm that slicks lips with a sheer veil of shimmer and a comfortable moisturizing formula. Yummy vanilla scent. It says get ready for your big frosted finish. Okay, yeah, the lip product is the most expensive. Probably everything we tried today minus the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. In this case, this is like a gold label, e.l.f. label. Okay, here she is. Mmm, delicious. I just did a lip product declutter and I pulled out all of my sparkly lips and only one of them had the glitter embedded, which is my Kiko Milano Holiday Lip, and it's discontinued. This one also has it embedded in there too. So I'm hoping this actually translates to the lips. Although I think this is gonna be super sheer, so do we wanna put something down? Like my O-Face Satin lipstick first and top it? Let's see what this looks like all on its own. It's like gold sparkles, but that's kind of it. They're chunky glitters. Oh, they're chunky. The other e.l.f. O-Face Satin lipstick that I have is in the shade Effortless, which would be pretty for today's look. I do like this formula too. I just don't know that this is gonna go over it really well. And then I'm gonna turn it purple. Oh well. I think the sparkles were overspray. Like now I don't see them inside of the lipstick anymore. I'm just gonna use like the bullet. No. It's just an overspray. I kind of took it off of the back where I like used it on my lip. So it's like kind of gone there. So this is just totally an overspray. Like they didn't actually embed enough of the sparkles to make it make a difference or like show up on your lips. I got a little bit, but not a lot. Here was the swatch. The overspray was like the first thing that came off. I think I could have done without that in my life. The ones that I have from Kiko Milano show up more than this one. I don't know, even the one from Tom Ford is more sparkly that I also have in my collection. So I could have done without that one. I think my favorite thing of today was literally this, which I've tried before. This is not like a new product or formula to me necessarily. It's just a new shade. You guys pretty much know how I feel about everything else as I was going. You know, there are some staple products in my collection that come from e.l.f. A lot of their brushes. I told you guys the foundation that I've had in my collection for years. I have talked about this on my channel many times, being a really great setting powder for people with combo to oily skin. And I think a lot of powder foundations are that way. It's just that this is affordable and it comes in so many freaking shades. So it really is a good one. As far as these shadows go, I literally wasn't blown out of the water, and I wanted to be. For $6, e.l.f. could have come for the market and dominated. I mean, I feel like Moira Beauty has already done it, you know? And they do it for about $8.50 a piece, but I feel like their singles that are like this, they have a better base. They have more variety. I don't know, I don't hate this shade. It's just that these were super dry and they feel immensely hard panned in there already. So I think these were a little bit of a miss. Of all the singles that I have tried in my time in testing makeup, in the different formulas that I have that are very comparable in my collection, I just don't feel like e.l.f. nailed this one. I talked to you about the balm. I was really excited for this. It didn't translate. And I find that a lot with lip balms, that it's just like an overspray. There's only really a few companies where they embed it so heavily, but they're so fine that they actually translate to the lips without feeling gritty. So I don't feel like for 10 bucks they did it. So maybe it's good if it's a limited edition or if it's already sold out for good. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about today's video, or if you've tried any of these products or you were thinking about picking them up. I will be linking all of these items in the description box in case you guys are interested in checking anything out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys are not currently subscribed, I'd love to see you subscribe. I'm out of here, you guys, and I hope to catch y'all in my next video. Bye, guys.